Welcome to the United States Joint Certification Office video, where you will learn the steps on how to properly fill out the DD Form 2345. This form is the Military Critical Technical Data Agreement for U.S. vendors who want joint certification. Canadian contractors need to view the Canadian-specific video on the JCP website for completing Block 4. You can also find guidance on the JCP website. A few important points. This video does not address the completion of the required proper handling of DoD export control technical data training, which can be found on the JCP website. The JCO does not accept handwritten applications. Type the information in each block of the DD Form 2345. DD 2345 submission should be made only via email. The JCO does not store or maintain export control technical data. If you become JCP certified, you will have to go directly to the DoD Controlling Office, who owns the data, if you require specific system access. Let's get started filling out the form. First, make sure you have the correct version of the DD 2345. There are a total of 6 blocks that need to be completed by the JCP applicant. Blocks 7 through 9 are for the Joint Certification Office usage only. Check if this is the first-time request for certification under the Joint Certification Program. Note you do not need a new JCP certification with every government solicitation or bid. Once you've been issued a JCP certification, that number remains with that designated cage code. For a revision, check if you are revising any information on an active application. To show revised information such as name and address of the entity, cage or in-cage code, a new data custodian or data custodian change of telephone and/or email. This also applies to changes to relevant business activity or contractor certification. Note: anytime there is a change of data custodians, then introduction to proper handling of DoD export control technical data training must be completed by the new data custodian. For a 5-year renewal, check this box only if the company's 5-year certification is going to expire or has expired. Renewal requests may be submitted up to 120 days prior to certification expiration. In order to be certified in JCP, you must have an active cage code. In Block 2A, list your company's name. The company name must be the same as posted on the cage website. In Block 2B, list your physical address, including the P.O. box if applicable. The company address in Block 2B on the form must be the same as posted on the cage website. In Block 2C, list the name of the subsidiary, division, and/or department. If you are a university, college, or other higher learning institution, you must enter Office of Research and Grants, or the name of the office that is its equivalent. In Block 2D, you must enter your cage code as found on the cage website. Failure to do so may result in a delay in processing your application. The data custodian is the person who takes responsibility for who has access to the data. Enter the name of the data custodian. If an entity has several locations and wishes to have each location certified, then each location would need to have a separate cage code and identify the respective data custodian. Please designate only one data custodian per location. Include area code as well as any extensions of the data custodian. Enter the title of the data custodian. Note: the designated data custodian must be an employee of the company identified in Block 1A. That individual cannot be a contractor or consultant of a different company or organization. Enter the email of the data custodian. It is important that this information is readable and correct, since all communications are facilitated through this email address. You must provide concise responses. We don't accept attachments or non-applicable responses. Failure to provide this information may result in your JCP application being delayed or denied. There are 2 types of approved formats for filling out Block 4. One format is a narrative format, and the other is the bullet point format. In this section of Block 4, answer all 11 questions in depth. indicate if you are a prime contractor or a subcontractor. If you are a subcontractor, please provide the prime contractor's cage code. Describe what you do. Describe what types or type of equipment, material, or service you manufacture or provide, and include the Commodity North American Industry Classification System, or NAICS code, or Associated Federal Supply Code, or FSC if known. If you are a non-manufacturer, please provide the cage code and company name or names of the manufacturer or manufacturers that produce your product. Is your equipment, material, service related to the United States Munitions List or Commerce Control List? If yes, state what category. Are you registered with DDTC? If yes, please state so and provide documentation. Do you possess an export control license? If yes, please state so and provide documentation in your resubmission. State your purpose for export control access. State specifically what system you require access to. If DIBS, provide your user ID. If you require access to a system, you must specify the system you require access to. Indicate who is requiring you to attain a JCP certification. The Joint Certification Program Office cannot be used as the government agency. Usually, this is the controlling DoD office where the data is accessed and maintained. Also, please state if there is no government agency requester. This is where you put your citizenship or residency status. The individual named in Block 3A may be either a Canadian or a U.S. citizen, or a person admitted lawfully for permanent residence into Canada. If the location of the entity is in the U.S., the individual named in Block 3 must be a U.S. citizen or a person admitted lawfully for permanent residence if the facility is located in the U.S. A Canadian citizen may not be a U.S. vendor's data custodian, nor may a U.S. citizen be a Canadian vendor's data custodian. In this block, you will type the individual's name and title who can legally obligate the enterprise to a legally binding contract. For universities, this title must clearly show this individual's relationship to the Office of Research and Grants or the office at the university, college, or higher learning institution that performs this function. Print out your form and have the individual identified in Block 6A, sign, and date the form. Stamped or digital signatures are currently not accepted. Blocks 7 to 9 are for JCO official use only, and you do not need to fill out these blocks. Save the signed DD Form 2345 as an unlocked PDF and send the completed document with any additional documents to the JCP email. Make sure to include company name and cage code in the email subject line. Allow 5 to 7 business days for our office to review your application before following up. If you have any questions or concerns about the DD 2345 application completion process, please review the JCP website. If your question is not answered, then email the JCP. Thank you for watching this video, and good luck with your application.